Welcome to Behind the Bar. Paul Starr, brought to you by William Hill, the proud sponsor of the World Darts Championship. But actually, I've ditched being behind the bar to come along to the greatest place in World Darts. It's the Oki, the World Championship, and joined by these lovely ladies. Daniella and Charlotte, how are you?
Great, thank you.
We're good, thank you, Paul.
Christmas is over. How did it go? I bet it was wonderful.
We had really lovely Christmases, and we're happy to be back here.
Yeah.
Soon over.
So, yeah, it is.
3 days off and then, but we're glad to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. Any highlights so far? I mean, the atmosphere seems to be growing and growing and growing. You know,
it really does.
Yeah. So
every year it just seems to get bigger and louder and amazing.
Amazing crowd, and the format of darts has been brilliant. There's been some really, really good games.
Yeah.
So.
And we got some whoppers on the way. I mean, we got Chisnell and Anderson coming out, all the big stuff. So you came here today on the 27th, yeah? You came back, and you're staying over New Year?
Yeah, I am, yes.
Yeah.
I'm going home because my friend's getting married, so.
Oh, right. On New Year's Eve?
On New Year's Eve.
Oh, fantastic. So are you going to be in one piece to come back here on New Year's Day?
Yes, I'm going to try and not drink too much.
Believe that. So anyway, the calendars, they've been going so well. How's it going on now? Any left?
Not many.
Not many left now.
You can still get them from reddragondarts.com, but they've been amazing. We've had so much fun selling them, and
we have. It's been a great
We've been overwhelmed by how many people have had them. So thank you, everyone.
Yeah, brilliant. And hey, another one for 2018, please. We'll think about that another time. Hey, so talking of the new year, 2017, what's in store for you, ladies?
A very busy year again. Hopefully, a lot more on the darts calendar.
Yeah.
We've got loads of exhibitions in, haven't we, already?
Yeah. I've got some dates for you as well.
Brilliant.
Darts exhibition dates. So, hey, thank you for coming down tonight with Michael Van Gogh and Vincent van der Voort. It was heaving. What a great night.
It was absolutely packed, wasn't it?
It was.
One of the best exhibitions ever.
And the players were great, but the stars of the show were you two.
Oh.
That's lovely. Okay, ladies, I know you're busy and I'm going to get ready for your next walk on. The people start at 10, they'll be coming in on the seats in a moment, and we'll see you later on. Thanks for catching up.
Thanks, Paul.
Thanks,
Bye.
So, we've been joined by the chairman of the PDC. Looking over things, it's all nice and relaxed at the moment here, Barry, but not for many more minutes.
Oh, that's for sure. I mean, it's been crazy, hasn't it? I think the loudest crowds we've ever had in, and there'll always be critics that say, are they watching the darts? And I say, have they bought a ticket?
Yeah.
Now, they're the customer, and we're giving them some royal entertainment. The matches have been sensational, and I think they're all having a great time, which probably, it's what the world's all about, isn't it? If we can have some fun.
Yeah, they relate darts to Christmas now. And it's,
this is Christmas, absolutely. But, I mean, the darts crowds all around the country and all around the world are seeing the fans enjoying themselves, and when they come, they want to enjoy themselves. So it can be a little bit off-putting for the players sometimes, but that's why the prize money is going to the levels it's going, and you can't have one without the other.
That's right. Next year, the winner collects £400,000 for one tournament. It's 11.2 million throughout the calendar year. This is just ridiculous. I mean, you had these visions years ago, but were they just dreams?
Well, they were really. I mean, I used to say, because it's a nice round figure to say, my dream is to get to 10 million quid. And that was when we was on 2 million. And I thought 10 million films, that's a long way away.
Yeah.
But of course, over the years, with a mixture of my genius and to a very small extent, but more importantly the players and the entertainment they're giving, it's made us, I think we're the second stop on the TV cycle. And what happens is that the TV companies around the world set their budgets, and then they go out and buy football. And the second thing they buy is darts. Yeah. And that's how far we've come. And so automatically, because we're delivering the ratings which are off the scale, when the contracts come up for renewal, my job's so much easier because they don't want to lose it, and therefore we're getting multiples of 3, 4, 5 and 6 times the level that we were getting 5 years ago, which is making us into a very profitable business and giving us the opportunity to hopefully change some of these dart players' lives by giving them an income that they could only dream of. And the good news is we haven't even started. I mean, I've scrapped that 10 million dream and gone for 20 now, and please God I live long enough to see that as well, because I don't see why not. I mean, it's just about perception. People say it's only darts. It's a pub game. It's just, but of course, that's what they want to believe. The real people that run this television business and sponsorship agencies look at the demographics, look at the target audience and say, this is where we want to be. Yeah. And now that's probably in my 40 years, I've got 2 years before I have one darts event available for sponsorship. Now all that does is drive the price up when it comes up for renewal, because people there's a list of people saying, please bear us in mind. It's a wonderful position to be in, and it's great to see, people here now, kids coming on, people like, I look at someone like, say, Chris Dobie, I just pick him out of the air, look at Daryl Gurney, another one, relatively new on the scene, and suddenly their life is changing. Yeah. And that's very fulfilling for us. And at the same time, they're paying their way because they're delivering entertainment of an unbelievably high standard. I mean, the standard is through the roof. It
is, and obviously one of your loves early a few years ago, of course, with Mr. Davis was snooker, and I always compared those two sports, darts and snooker. They're the two sports that under pressure that it really tells us, and whether the cue's wobbling or the hands with the shaking, it's so important, and people don't relate to that. So you have a go. Everyone gets nervous in their local pub, Super League, county. Try it on the big stage.
It's funny when you look at it like that, because people talk about pressure, and it's an overused word, but nevertheless, the tension, I prefer to call it, at certain parts of a game. In snooker, because it's played largely in silence, that tension is actually cuttable with a knife, because it builds from a quiet base. Yeah. The tension in the darts world is where you can't hear yourself think, and your brain gets scrambled because of the chants and the oohs and the ahs. Yeah. Similar type of experiences for the player, but in two entirely different environments. Yeah,
and that's why you see that this one-on-one sort of thing. That's why you get boxers come along. We've got a lot of boxing fans, of course, enjoy
and golfers, a huge number of golfers, because they can understand. I said to Danny Willett, who won the Masters here early in the week, and I said, you've never had that type of pressure trying to make a 6-foot putt with everyone shouting out, miss it or boos and ahs. Right. And he went, no, he said, but I only get one chance at it. They've got 3 darts. Oh, that was his result, So but every sport's different, and every sport's got that level, and it comes from within. Is how much do you want it? I mean, boxing is the same. As fighters can win or lose fights depending on their desire to be the main man. Yeah. And darts is not dissimilar. It's a punch up in an alleyway, really. When you get 2 blokes hammering the treble 20, it's who's going to crack first.
Yes, that's.
I watched Anderson the other night, which is one of the greatest displays I've seen for years. I mean, 9 consecutive single dart checkouts was staggering. Yeah. But even then, with all his dominance, he missed one double top to win 4-0, and the next thing it's 3-2 and he's under the cosh.
Yes, yeah.
The game can swing. If you look at Wade and Smith today. Yeah. Smithy 3-1 up, seemingly coasting it.
He was.
Had a chance, didn't take it. The next thing you know, it's 3-all, and Smithy's like, what's gone on here? Yeah. And, great players like James Wade, they don't call him the machine for nothing because he's fearlessly, economic with his action, and he just gets the job done. But it makes for great pantomime in a pantomime spirit. It
is, and when you see players like maybe Corey Cabby, when you've seen his performance, do you look at that and just rub your hands together and say, bring it on, bring it on? Yeah. It's another Michael Van Gogh coming through,
when you see someone like that, you see the natural talent just begs. And I looked at him, I thought, you know what? That was the longest game he's ever played in his life. He's never played long sets like that. Physically, he was blowing a bit. If he was a racehorse, I'd be saying he's blowing a bit too much. Yeah. He was sweating up, he was wiping his hands, wiping his face. The experience of that, he can't buy. Because I think he'll go away and probably say, OK, how can I get better? Yeah. I'm a natural dart player. Yeah. I've got to be a little bit fitter. I've got to be able to take that bit of pressure, because first couple of sets, or the first set in particular, he was outstanding. Yeah. But these, the same as Max Hopp, these are young men, they've got a lot to learn, and it's not just about throwing treble 20s.
No, that's it. And when you look at how competitive it is, when we see likes of Raymond van Barneveld, you say second round, Alan Norris, now Phil Taylor, then maybe Michael Van Gogh. It's just...
Well, I think these guys have got to look one game at a time, because otherwise you'd frighten yourself to death, wouldn't you? You think, Raymond would say, how can I win this World Championship?
Right. He's going to beat Adrian Lewis, and it's bring another one on, you know what I mean?
The route I've got to take to the final is World Champions only. Yeah. Yeah. But of course, if you're going to win it, you've got to be prepared to beat everybody, and that's the attitude you've got to have. And you've got to take it one leg at a time and one match at a time, because if you think beyond that, then you're already out.
Yeah, that's it. Well, Barry, thank you so much for spending a couple of minutes with us on Tungsten Tales. Look forward to seeing you later.
Enjoy.
All the best.
Cheers.
Thanks.
Cheers now. Bye-bye.
Well, wonderful as always to catch up with Daniella and Charlotte. What about that? The boss man, a potential £20 million PDC tour. If he says it's going to happen, you know it certainly will. Well, thanks for joining us on Tungsten Tales. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's free. Like our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter. And join us next week on more Behind the Bar with Paul Starr, brought to you by William Hill, the proud sponsor of the World Darts Championship. We'll see you then.